Get some RC, yeah! Hello Autobots and Decepticons. My name is Somungi and today I'm bringing you some Transformers War for Cybertron. And I don't know if that really belongs in the singing category. This is war, man, this is war. And it's kind of like the old school wars back in the day when you got the one guy just carrying a trumpet around and it's like an honor, but then all of a sudden you just get a spear through your chest. Well, maybe not a spear, maybe a bayonet. But either way, this has nothing to do with our metal war that is going on right now. And as you can see, we are down in this game. Huge. I came into the game late. You just saw the start. I smacked RC, trying to get her going. She takes a little bit to get going. But anyways, I thought that I would give you guys some Conquest tips and tricks today, since I have never given you Conquest tips and tricks. And Conquest is the second most played game in this game right now. So I think it's about time to give you some Conquest tips. And as you see here, we are yet to have a point. And if you don't know how if you don't know how Conquest works, there's 3 different points on the map, A, B, C. Usually you spawn at A or C, and the middle point will be B. And I'm going to give you guys these tips kind of in a random order, because usually I write stuff down for tips and tricks videos, like what things I want to cover. But this time I figured I'd just go with it and see what kind of tips I can think of while I'm watching this gameplay that's a little older. And I'm using air right here with the healing ray. I usually play scientist in Conquest, but that doesn't mean other characters are not good in Conquest. Like in orbital debris, I prefer using the soldier, and I'll just patrol the bottom. And I actually prefer to have A and C in that certain map because of the distance between them are closer. Now in this map, I definitely recommend holding one of the outside ones, either A and C, and then hold that B position. Now, you essentially want to just keep 2 of them, just because then the spawns aren't going to get all sporadic and the enemy is going to come from one spot every time. So if we have A and B, for example, they'll spawn at C every time. But if you have all 3 of them, you don't know when they're going to spawn, and they're going to spawn behind you and start getting random spawns, and they're going to start killing you like that and start taking more than one position, because they're going to spawn in different places throughout the map depending on where you are. So I definitely recommend holding down just 2 of them if you can. Even if you're down quite a bit, like you see us, we're down more than 150 points to start this game, and I still only recommend holding these 2 just because there's enough time. If there's not enough time, if it's over like maybe 300 already, you might have to triple cap, and I think we do have to triple cap eventually in this game to kind of bring in the comeback if we do succeed. I can't remember if we win or lose this game. Actually, this is honestly the only Conquest game I have on my computer, so I'm using it, and I'm my high flyer air raid, and I really enjoy his transformation in and out more than any other person's transformation. Well, Slipstream, hers is really cool, but air raids, I don't know, there's something about the spin that's just really sweet, and it's just a cool melee out of it when you get the kill and the punch down with them. And you can see I'm primarily using the healing Energon repair ray because, I don't know, that's how I roll these days, I guess. It's just fun and amusing for me, and I'm just doing different things to try to mix up the game. But anyways, Conquest tips and tricks, I would recommend being your best person that you can hold down a spot with for a little bit. So I like to be the scientist with a sentry. Now, you can either play that type of role, or you can be the scientist that just goes everywhere and just tries to wreak havoc. And the scientist does a really good job of knocking them off a point, because you can come in down there, shockwave them away, and then they'll have to reset on getting the objective. So there you see me healing like a madman in this game, and we are trying to mount a comeback. Here's the triple cap you see, and it's better if you have more scientists and scouts because you're faster if you do tend to triple cap, because then you can make it over to the position where they spawn and try to knock them off of that so that you can delay them from getting points. But overall, I still only recommend holding 2. It's usually going to be A and B or C and B, but in some cases you're going to want to hold A and C because of the distance between them. And it's a good idea to communicate with your teammates throughout the game to kind of figure out if your controller's going to die or not. No, but to try and figure out what you guys want to do, what's your battle strategy, and whatnot. Now, there are some good abilities, and I always prefer using 2 healing grenades because you can come down, heal people at multiple positions. And there you get me sent to oblivion by a shockwave, but that's okay. With the scientist, you can really make a difference. You can get there quick, and you see we did triple cap a minute ago, but look what's happening now. Now we're losing everything, and unless we hurry up and get there and knock them off, we're gonna lose everything because of the spawns being all crazy. So you definitely just want to just take those 2 if you can. If you're starting out in the beginning of a game, take 2 of them, hold those down, and then you'll know where they're coming from. Then you and your team can set up and just look in one direction to fight that way. Now here you see me, I'm taking B by myself, and I notice they're coming behind me, so I have to get my club on a little bit, and there's more than one, and it's time to use the overshield. And another health bubble, better safe than sorry, even with the health matrix. I'm about to throw that on, I think, when I can get out of this battle, but I love using this lightsaber, as I like to say. I got the, I believe, Battle Medic perk on, and maybe I don't. Maybe I have the perk that allows the output of the ray to extend farther, which I definitely recommend if you're going to be using it as your primary. And if you haven't used it as your primary, definitely do it because it is fun, especially with scouts, because with the scout speed, they tend to be able to evade normal weapons, like a burst rifle weapon. They can't really evade the leader's weapons, but the leader's weapons are just outright cheap anyways. And the EMP shotgun is also kind of unavailable because they gave the scope like the entire screen for some reason for how strong it is. I never understood that because it's such an easy weapon to use for how strong it is in the distance, but I don't want to really get into that. People know those 2 weapons are just overpowered, and that's why most people use the frag and the EMP. But if you ever do use the Energon repair tool, it is very fun because it will lock onto the scouts and it will stick with them, and then it kind of frustrates them a little bit because they can't get away from it. And here I got a whirlwinding guy. I think he's probably going to get me. No, if a guy's whirlwinding you like that, it's best to just either fly out of there, back up as quick as you can, and get out of there as quick as possible. And then lay down the law with the club. And here you see we got the triple cap again going, but we are starting to make a comeback. The game is a lot closer, so we are really just cruising. And here's their whole team full of Decepticons. And I'm like, wait a second. And I get killed from the whirlwind. So I didn't really do much. I just kind of delayed them there a little bit, but that's all you really need if you are trying to make a comeback. Delay them from getting that position, and then be aware of where they are coming from. Other than that, I mean, there's not too many more tips I can give you guys. It's definitely a good idea to go and capture with more than one person because, 1, you're going to capture it a lot quicker. The timer is going to go up faster. And 2, you're going to be able to fight off people that come in there one by one. So definitely have a game plan, know what your team is doing, communicate. It's always key in every game type. And I guess use abilities that you can use anywhere. I mean, when I play the soldier, I don't more or less use the ammo matrix because I know I'm not going to be sitting in one spot, or the ammo beacon, I'm sorry. I like to use the disruption to take away the leader's war cry. And as a scientist, some people might not like to use the turret. See, I prefer the turret because it will stay there and it will annoy somebody a lot if they come down and land and then they just start getting shot by the turret. But I do recommend the setup with the shockwave and the drain because then you can be mobile. You can go to 2 different spots and use an ability at each and hopefully pick up a couple kills in there. So here you see me holding down B with the huge gun, the Nucleon Shock Cannon. And with this gun, you can hold down one spot pretty much by yourself. So just as long as we hold 2 here, we are good to go. The rest of my team should be able to fend off C unless they send their whole team there, because then they would be outnumbered. Otherwise, we should be able to hold it down. And it looks like that we flipped them here. So now they're going to be coming from the C direction. But I'm good back here doing a little air raid jig, getting jiggy with it, and just hanging out behind this pole because I have protection here and I'm hidden and I can see through walls because I have X-ray vision. And this guy's hanging out, putting in some work on that turret or that sentry, whatever you want to call it. Thank you, Mr. Silverbolt. You are an excellent repairer. And so I guess I can kind of go over what I prefer for each character since I do have quite a bit of time left in this game. And for the scientist, I would just go with what you're comfortable with because you are so fast that you can get to any position, and whatever you feel like you can get more kills with, definitely go with that. and be smart about it. If you're gonna fight a bunch of people all at one spot, don't take them all on one at a time. Jump in there, knock them off the position, get out of there, delay them for your team, and help your rest of your guys out by forcing them to recap it. For the scout, I definitely recommend either the Null Ray or the Energon Battle Pistol, just because with those two guns, they're both very good at long range and close range. So you can kind of see across the map and you know which direction they're coming in. So you can kind of set up behind as a scout and get some long distance kills. And for a leader, I actually recommend the barrier, because then it will prevent those scouts and those scientists from shooting in with the burst rifle. And of course you're going to use Warcry on the other ability, because it is the most overpowering ability in the game, and you'd be foolish not to use it because it is there for your disposal. And for the soldier, I kind of talked about it a little bit ago. I definitely recommend using the whirlwind just so you can kill multiple people on a specific node, whatever it is you're trying to either defend or take. And then I would also use disruption so that you can stop the war cry, you can stop the whirlwind, and you can stop the scientist from using drain, shockwave, or his sentry gun. So those are my different setups I guess I would use in Conquest. Conquest is a cool game type. It's pretty fast-paced and action-packed, and it does require some good teamwork in order to be successful in it, and you do get in quite a bit of close games, which is also very nice and exciting. As you see here, we only have one position and we are currently losing it, but we are up by a little bit. But if we do give this up and do not get another one, we will definitely lose this game, as it is coming down to the wire. So I'm going to quickly scramble here to C, away from them, taking it at B to see if I can kind of get a little trickery on them and force them to come away from A. And as you see, I'm spawning my people in here, so I know I just got to use my healing grenades and hold this down for a quick second, and we will take it down with a nice little comeback by a couple points. So I hope these tips and tricks will help you guys. If you guys have any tips and tricks that I forgot, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And remember to leave a rating and subscribe for more Transformers. Have a good day, guys.